And we are live. What's good, Josh? Your man DL Saint. How y'all feeling? Happy Tuesday, day after the holiday. Hope you had a long. Hope your holiday weekend was great. Hope you had a good Memorial Day. I know I've been missing y'all. I didn't do a show Sunday. I didn't do a show yesterday. I am in transition. I mean, it's a good thing. I'm just trying to figure out how my schedule is going to work moving forward. So yeah, I'm probably gonna miss a couple 6 o'clock shows. You might see me pop on random times like right now. And it's just gonna be the summer schedule, guys. I'm out there, I'm doing what I do, doing comedy. It was great. Check to make sure just checking to see if the soundboard is working. It is. Uh yeah, I'm out. I'm doing things. Comedy takes a lot of time, guys. Like, getting out there, getting after it. I really enjoy it. I love it. But you have to start at the bottom, man. I'm doing open mics, and open mic shows are the shows where you basically go and you're trying to let folks know you're in town, you're a comic. I have made some inroads, so luckily I went to this open mic, this place called The Gimmick out here in Tampa, and it's a new space. It's a cool spot. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a real cool spot. Real eclectic. You know what I'm saying? Got that little beatnik vibe, whatever. It's someone's house that they've kind of made into a business where they do these shows. I went last night and I got on. I did 5 minutes and it was cool, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was cool. I haven't been around open micers in a long time. And I forget. You forget, being a comedian, you forget what it's like. And I'll do a show about that. I got footage and stuff like that. I haven't posted it to Instagram. I haven't posted it here, but I will. It's just a matter of time before I get into that. Just trying to figure out how to do it. And, I got clips and this and that. And I'm, just keep it 100. I don't use Instagram like I should. I need to get better at that. But I wanted to jump on real quick. I was watching Fresh and Fit and Valuetainment did a show last night. Adam Sosnick and Patrick Bet-David went to Miami to do Myron and Fresh's show. Fresh and Fit was an outstanding show. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's definitely worth watching. And I saw the show was coming. I know, like, oh man, they're gonna do the show, and I couldn't watch it live because I knew I was going to be out doing my thing. So I sent a super chat in, and I just sat down and I watched it later. Watched the entire show. Outstanding show. And then this morning, Myron Gaines was on the Patrick Bet-David podcast, PBD. So Fresh and Fit have already done the PBD podcast. It's over at Valuetainment. I would say that PBD is the flagship podcast on that platform. Myron and Fresh has already done that. And it looks like the Valuetainment asked Myron to come and actually sit in on one of the home team episodes, which I really like, man. They cover a lot of political stuff, like what's going on now. They give you insight, which is more center right. They have Adam, who's pretty much the guy who's center left. Then you have Pat, Vinny, and Tom. Normally, like right, but varying degrees of right. And then you have Adam, and of course, you have Pat, who kind of does his best to moderate and sit there. I mean, you could tell where he is, but he's a thinker, and that's why I respect the man so much. So we're gonna watch a couple of clips from Fresh and Fit last night, and it was cool watching this. I ain't gonna lie, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to find the time hack, guys. So that's why I'm looking over to the, looks like to the left. Nah, that's close enough. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I told Myron, made a bet with Myron over a year ago, probably a year and a half ago now. I'm like, hey man, Fresh and Fit is gonna go mainstream at some point. He's like, no, it's not. I don't see that happening. It's not gonna happen. You're getting closer and closer. We're getting closer and closer. And the day now, next time I see Myron, which will be Friday, I'm gonna go. They have a live event in Fort Lauderdale. Fresh and Fit podcast and Valuetainment is coming together for a live event. I'm gonna be there. Hard to get the tickets now, people. I think they have some general admission tickets left. They had general admission, they had a premium, and then they had a VIP. The VIP tickets sold like that. I didn't even snag a VIP ticket because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it. I mean, it's just a lot going on my end. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it. I was able to get a premium ticket, so I'm going to go down there and show my support. But I believe they still have some general admission, maybe a couple premium tickets left. This is going to be this Friday, 6 p.m., 6 to 10 p.m., in Fort Lauderdale at the Valuetainment Studios. I'm going to be there for that. They're going to have like a great event. I'm curious to see how these events play it out. You know me, I'm a big networker. I'm curious to get down there and network. Definitely going to see Myron and Fresh down there. And I'm going to remind Myron of that bet. Like, bro, if once y'all go mainstream, you got to pop lock. That was the bet. He's going to have to go out there and pop lock. It's hilarious. So yeah, we're gonna see what's up with that. But yeah, Friday I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, let me catch up with the chats real quick, man. I see we got a couple in the house. We got Brother Dusto in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you. Glad you came through. You know what I mean? With his customary greeting, Dust. We got Brother Dinosaur in the house. What's good, fam? Hey, Brother Dio. I hope last night went well and was belly laughs for you and your audience. It was cool, man. Like the belly laughs are going to be there. The thing with stand-up comedy, and when you do these smaller rooms and you do an open mic, this is where you go to build material. So there's a way that you go about it. And the way you measure your performance, like my thing is I want to make people laugh. And it's a personal connection. That's one of the things with comedy, man. It's a personal connection. If you can make that connection, you can make someone laugh, then you've done your job as a comedian. Now they had a pretty good room, bro. I want to say it was about, 20, 25 people there. That may not sound a lot to you guys listening to me, but for an open mic, that is a lot of people. And they were straight audience members. They weren't like comics who were trying to make it or actors or whatever. They were there for a show, open mic show. I'm not quite sure if they knew what that meant, but they were there nonetheless. And so normally when I do an open mic, you sit back and you watch all the other comics go. And again, these are people brand new to the game. So the skill level with comics ranges from 0 time on stage to people with years and decades on stage. So you got someone like me who's been in the game a long time. I understand it. This is what I love about comedy. Like, all right, I'm gonna go. I'll do any stage. I don't care. So I don't know. I think I went up maybe 8th. I might have been the 8th comic to go up somewhere in there. And I go up. The first thing I do is I'm looking at the audience. Now you're in front of them. You can see them. And, I'm scanning like, all right, I want to see who I can make laugh. And you see those people sitting there like this. You see people who are like, oh, my God, this is a train wreck. Most open mics are. That's it's just how it is. So I came up and I actually recorded it. I did about, we all did 5 minutes. I did like 4 minutes and 15 seconds, and I'll get into that later. And in fact, I'm going to vlog this stuff. I do plan on doing it. I have the footage on my phone. Once I get it out of my phone, and I'm gonna do a show to show you guys what I'm talking about. Next time I go and do an open mic or go on stage, I'm gonna film the audience from my POV so you guys can kind of see what I see. It'll be real quick, maybe 10, 15 seconds, just so you can see the crowd. And then I'll turn the video off and I always audio record my sets so I can listen to, what I'm doing. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this couple, man. It's like it's a white dude, like the whitest white dude. You like this guy, it's like somebody get this man a lumberjack shirt and an axe. Like that's the white dude. And he's sitting next to this beautiful black woman, right? Dark-skinned sister, right? With her hair and everything looking good. She had it all twisted up and everything. They're sitting right in the front. And the first thought went through my mind is why? Like, why would you sit right here in the open mic? Someone's gonna screw up. Like someone's gonna say something that ain't gonna go well and people gonna get tagged. You know what I mean? So I saw that and I saw the guy sitting there. He's like this, bro. And I'm like, I gotta make this man laugh. Young guy too. Like, I'm an old dude. Everybody in there, average age was probably 26, 28, somewhere in there. So this guy was just sitting there like, I gotta make this dude laugh. And I was able to do it. You know what I mean? I just was doing a little bit of crowd work. I was able to get a smile out of him. I was like, all right, cool. And I can see other people were having a good time. And as a comedian, you did your job when you come off stage and you have to walk through the crowd. Some audiences, like some stages, you enter from stage left or right. That's how you get on the stage. And that's how you get off. But when you do these open mics, a lot of these are like makeshift kind of rooms. So you have to enter through the crowd. So you come in, they can't see you because they're obviously you're looking at the back of their heads because you're in the back of the room. You do your performance and then you got to walk through them to get out. And that's what I was doing. So you did your job when people are high-fiving you, pointing at you, giving you thumbs up, like they make eye contact and they're smiling. That's when you did a good job. And so long as I get that, I'm happy. But 5 minutes for someone like me is, it takes me, if I'm doing my normal bit, if I'm doing my normal 15, 20, I dedicate 5 to just crowd work, 5 minutes just to get the crowd into it. And then the next 15 minutes or 20 minutes after that would be the actual routine. So I know that's a long-winded way of saying, yeah, I made them laugh. But was it the belly laugh? No. Couldn't get the belly laughs. I got them to laugh out loud. I got them on my team, but I only have 5 minutes. If I had 15 minutes, it would have been a little better. But I got big plans, man. The gimmick is nice. I think I'm going to film a 1 hour special for myself. And I think I'm going to do it at the gimmick. I'm going to work with the owners. They're real cool. I'm gonna come in. That was the whole mission. I wanted to go and check it out, see what it was about. I want to see the parking situation. I want to see what the spot was like inside. I want to see how the stage was and all that. They've done a good job. So I'm going to do my best within the next 3 to 4 weeks to plan an event so I can go in and actually shoot an hour. And I'm going to need that to get it to my booking agents and stuff like that so I can do bigger shows. This is how comedy works, guys. It's like one of those things, you know what I mean? One thing builds on the other. No real shortcuts. And you don't want shortcuts because if you take shortcuts, then you haven't done the work and then you're not funny. So, yeah, bro, they had a good time. It was real quick. I didn't stay until the very end. I left. I mean, like I said, open mics, comedian, open micers, man, they're weird people, bro. I love them, but they're weird. And they had, boy, more than their share of weirdos. And I'm talking about the comics, not the audience. So I hung out about as long as I could. And then I just got out of there, man. I had to bounce. Convo and chill with Tommy B, brother. Tommy B is in the house. What's good, bro? It's like nowhere they're going mainstream, DL. Too much ego. They're going mainstream, bro. And I'm going to tell you why they're going mainstream, because mainstream media is suffering, man. They are suffering. You think about it, Fresh and Fit, that type of platform, they're pulling CNN numbers, right? They're pulling MSNBC numbers on a good show. They're pulling in the market share that is really, important to mainstream media. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It just it shows us where media is and how there's been a shift to where how Americans and the consumers consume content. I mean, you look at what YouTube is doing, and YouTube is still small, bro. Small, so small. So, and there are fierce and loyal, men and women out there on YouTube, especially in the RP space or whatever it's going to turn into. Yeah, you're going to see, you're definitely going to see it. You're going to see platforms like Fresh and Fit go mainstream. You're going to see platforms like Andrew Schultz's show, Flagrant. You're going to see that go mainstream. It's going to happen. It's going to be a shift. Media companies, they follow the dollar. And the reason I say it I'm certain that they're going to go mainstream now is because Patrick Bet-David is a fan of Myron and Fresh. And Patrick Bet-David, y'all mark my words, Valuetainment is going to be one of the top 20 entertainment companies on the planet. Watch, because that's what he wants to do. And PBD is sitting on bread and he's willing to commit the money. The fact that he made a public offer to Tucker Carlson $100 million deal over 5 years and was serious about it. They got this close to sealing that deal. It just goes to show the kind of money that PBD is willing to invest to accomplish this mission of his, which is to make Valuetainment a relevant, I guess, entertainment company. Another reason I'm going down there to talk. So I'm telling you, mark my words, Tommy. Them boys going mainstream, bro. Watch. Watch. And then because you look at stuff like the Young Turks, you look at stuff like Breaking Points. Breaking Points is another one. I think Breaking Points would be one of the first platforms to actually hit mainstream out here, bro. This is just me talking, man. I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, bro, they're bringing in money. They're bringing in money. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me catch up with the chats real quick, because I just want to do this real quick, guys. This is I'm probably maybe an hour. I don't even think it's gonna go that long. It's just a couple things I want to watch and comment on that Fresh and Fit show. And then I'll be back later on today to comment about some stuff on Patrick Bet-David PBD podcast that Myron was saying. They were talking about Russia and Ukraine, and I have to push back on what my brother Myron was saying, which is something that you can do, y'all. There's a lot of people out there. You know, I'm part of the Fresh and Fit fam. That's one of my things. My Fresh and Fit folks come out. I don't agree with 100% what everybody says. It doesn't matter how much how much respect I got for you, how cool we are, but push back. I'm gonna push back. I'm like, yo, I don't agree. But later on tonight, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk about what Myron and what PBD and the crew was saying about Russia and Ukraine. Definitely want to talk about that tonight. But I feel just like me and brother Tommy B right now, we're pushing back on each other. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that we are fighting. This is like, hey, man, I think this. No, man, I think that. And we go, we make our cases and then we decide, all right, bro, we can agree to disagree. Or like, you know what? You got a good point. That's just how it's supposed to work, man. And that's, you know what I mean? And that's the beauty of brotherhood. Brother Dino, like Dio, I love comedy venues, comedy theater, open mics. When you don't end up the target, yeah, bro. Open mics, young comics are dangerous, bro. Young comics are dangerous. I was the same way when I first started, man. Open mics are tough. And they give you 5 minutes in this particular venue. That's a lot of time. That is so much time for a new comic. Like you at the Comedy Store where I started in LA, it was 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And I worked on my little 3-minute bit for 2 weeks. 2 weeks I worked on my bit. Then I got on stage to do my 3 minutes. My 3 minutes was done in 1 minute and 15 seconds, bro. My whole 3-minute package of material was done that fast because I didn't know how to pace. I had no stage presence. It was so many things I didn't know. And now I'm just standing there looking at the crowd and they're looking back at me. I got over 1.5 minutes. Bro, it was an eternity, bro. An eternity, man. I actually did pretty good my first time, man. I'll tell you guys about that at a later date, but bro, I love comedy, man. Yeah, I can see I'm amped up. I love comedy. I'll be back on stage again Wednesday. And then I'm going to check out the Improv here in Tampa on Thursday. I doubt if I get up, but I'm going to get in there and see what's up, see who's in there. And then while I'm down in Fort Lauderdale, I'm going to be talking with my man Vinny, and I'm going to see what's going on down in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami area. And hopefully I can get down there in the next couple of weeks and do some shows down there. Like, comedy is a real hustle. Yeah, you got to get out there and make it happen. I love it. I love it. But open mics can be dangerous, bro. Brother Dino Dio, think about hosting a night and add in your stand-up routine. Hosting is always the best way to build material. I can do an hour. I could do an hour and a half. And how did I get so much content? It's from hosting. I was a comedy promoter in LA as well. And again, I'm gonna do a show, man. I'm gonna do a show this week. I'm gonna break down comedy 101. I'm gonna do a show this week. I'm just gonna break it all the way down for you. But I was a host of a show, and I was able to build a lot of material. Actually, I was the host of a bunch of shows. I ran a bunch of rooms in LA, and I'll tell you what, I'll be talking about terminology and all that kind of stuff. So I was able to get up a lot. And the thing is, when I ran my rooms, I wanted the best show possible for the consumer. I didn't care about making friends with comedians and this and that. No, I wanted the best show possible. My one rule was the funniest guy goes up, or girl, the funniest comedian goes up last, because that you always want people to leave there on the high of a good bit, a good routine. And I didn't care about the Hollywood game. Like, if you were some Hollywood star, like one of the Wayans, it was Marlon Wayans, not Marlon, the other one, the one that was the DJ on In Living Color. I mean, you got someone like that. He was out, trying to figure it out. He wanted to be a comedian, and somehow he found one of my rooms. I mean, that's cool. I would love, that was great, because, you got someone who's a celebrity, but they had to be funny. Like, and my thing is like, okay, if you're either like a opener kind of guy funny, a middle kind of person funny, or a headliner funny. And that's how I did it. I don't care about your last name. If you weren't funny, I'm not going to put you up last. I'm just not going to do it, because I want people to walk away with the best feeling, so they're going to come back. So I was more concerned with having the perfect show. I was trying to put together the perfect show. I got close a couple times, but I never quite got there. because I love comedy. I just love it. I mean, it's everything about it. Like, promoting, getting the comics, getting the crowd there, dealing with management, getting your equipment, getting whatever you need, promoting. This was before social media, so we had to do flyers and stuff like that. The money part, I loved every aspect of it. To me, it was so rewarding. And mind you, I was an air traffic controller. I was just doing this for fun. But I got to meet a lot of comics, and a lot of these comics today are huge. And I was able, like, yep, I had them on my stage, and we have relationships, and they know that I care about comedy, and it was a healthy respect there. And I got you guys are thinking like, well, who are you talking about, DL? Like, I guess the biggest star right now that I know that came up doing shows with me is Sebastian Maniscalco. Like, Sebastian is one of the funniest comedians I've ever encountered. He was part of the group ahead of me because at the Comedy Store, you wind up in little groups of people who kind of, climb the ranks together. They were in a group a couple ahead of us, so we were always looking at them. And I'm like, man, I got to get a bit so I could be as funny as, not as funny as, but let me get a bit. Sebastian had a bit, all the great comics at the time had these bits they were known for. Sebastian had this bit called Where's Damo, which was real funny. John Caparillo had the Pinecone bit. Sam Tripoli had the magical drunk girl bit. Brett Ernst, you know what I mean? He had he had a what was that? He had a couple bits, like America Goes Into a Bar bit. Like, they all had these routines that they were known for. Adam Cater, Americaville bit. I can just I can name them on and on and on, because I would sit back and just learn and I just love that comedy, bro. Just loved it. So Sebastian's doing big things, doing great things. He has a movie out now, I think, with Robert De Niro. It's supposed to be really good. Patrick Bateman was talking about it. Who else? Maz Jobrani, another good friend of mine, a comic I respect, on the highest level. Always out there doing stuff, man. Mozzy's like, you turn on TV, you might see him on somebody's TV show right now. Like, he's just an actor, comedian, hilarious. So anyway, man, I love that, bro. I absolutely love comedy. You see, I'm all excited about it. If I could go out every night and perform, I would. So maybe I will, eventually I probably will have a room somewhere in the Tampa area. I just got to find a venue. So, and I'm gonna have to find someone to help me, because when school year starts, I'm back to being full-time dad. The comedy falls off. I need to focus on my daughter. So I'm probably going to need help. I can get it all set up, and I just have someone work under me, and I can teach them what I know, and then they can run the show, and I can just kind of manage them or kind of sit back and make sure everything's good, because there's money in it. There's money in the game, and Brother Tommy B, I've always heard comics are weird, man. Yes, we are. Comics are weird as I don't know what. Brother Damon's in the house. What's good, fam? Good to see you. We got Dr. B in the house. Yo. What's good, fam? Good to see you as well, bro. Always a pleasure to see you. It's like last week was crazy busy, just stopping by on my off week, bro. I'm glad, man. Like I said, I hate to hear it when you're busy, man. Like, Dr. B is a doctor. Like, so if he's busy, I mean, that's cool. He's busy helping people, but he was like, oh, I had a bad week. I'm like, ooh, I don't know, but I don't want to hear the stories, man. It's kind of like air traffic, man. Come home, had a bad day. You don't want to talk about it. Brother Tommy B, Me Beast isn't mainstream, and they dwarf Fresh and Fit. Yeah, I don't know who they are. Me Beast isn't mainstream. I don't know. I really think that I think there's a shift coming. There's a shift coming. I believe that mainstream is going to begin to cater to some of these YouTubers who are pulling in some of these numbers. And they look at numbers. They're not looking at just viewership, but they're looking at the kind of money is being pulled in, super chats and all that. Bro, Fresh and Fit has a loyal fan base, bro. Loyal. They're like 1.4 million and growing. Yeah, you got, Mr. Beast. That's what you're talking about, Mr. Beast. That's right. Yeah, Mr. Beast is huge. But what Mr. Beast does, it's kind of like mindless entertainment. So Mr. Beast would be a sliver in someone's, like maybe get like a 30-minute time slot to do something wild and crazy. I don't think it would pay for Mr. Beast to go mainstream. I just like the stuff he does it is for YouTube. YouTube is always going to be around. I just don't see it. But when he did that Squid Games thing, which I didn't watch, but I saw clips of it, that was crazy. Like the stuff that he's built, the money he's made off of YouTube, he's just really focused and knows how to work that. So, I mean, and then to actually get Mr. Beast to come join your network, you could have to drop him some billions, bro. Like billions of dollars to get, Patrick Bet-David, man, you have to spend some. I don't think he can afford to get a Mr. Beast, bro. I don't think it would make sense. You know what I mean? So, he has built his own niche. And so long as YouTube is around, he's always going to be doing crazy stuff like running locomotives through walls and Squid Games and putting people in a big vacuum thing to see how much money they can get. He's always going to be doing that stuff. Could Mr. Beast host his own, late night show or something like that? I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't want to do it. Maybe he doesn't have the charisma. I don't know. He's doing exactly what he wants to do. But I would say Mr. Beast is just a little different. And yeah, he does draw fresh and fit. Mr. Beast is major, man. Like tens of millions of people. He's going around curing the blind, bro. He's buying people like legs and stuff like that. He's helping people hear again. Like he's really doing some great stuff over there. But that's like YouTube focused, extreme YouTube stuff, which works for him. You're right about that, brother Dino. You got 50 Cent, Shaq, and a couple others looking to buy BET TV. I think 50 could turn that around, bro. If 50 Cent bought BET, I think he could turn that around. I mean, he is a very competent producer. He's a creative. He knows what he's doing. That would be great. I would watch it. You know what I mean? If 50 and Shaq were behind BET, I would watch it. It just, and they got the money to do it. It's just a matter of them wanting to do it. It's funny how mainstream media is in play now, bro. Like people could take a shot at them. People are making runs at them. Again, I think there's going to be, and think about it. If 50 got BET, if 50 Cent and Shaq got BET, right? Let's say they put together a group and they bought BET. You best believe a show like Mav Hoffa, My Expert Opinion, is going to be one of the shows on there, and that's going to push them into the spotlight. And then all of 50's creative stuff comes on there with the Ghost and whatever the shows he does. I haven't watched the guys. People get mad at me, man. You ain't watched this show. I'm like, bro, I'm doing this shit. I'm sorry, I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? Maybe one day I will. But those shows are so popular. If 50 gets BET and he gets to bring his creative mind to that platform, yeah, man, BET will be able to compete with NBC, Fox, CBS, absolutely, TBS. There would be another place for people to go and shine, black people in particular. So, bro, that would be major. And Dr. B, as a side note, got a salary increase at work a few weeks ago. Congratulations, bro. That's a Don DeMarco if I ever heard one, bro. That's what I'm talking about, man. Get that money, bro. You know what I'm saying? You bust your ass to get it, man. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Me, in order for me to get a pay raise, I got to go out here and find it. I got to go out here and get it. It's like I got to get out here and crank. And that's what I'm doing right now. I have moved into hustle mode. I'm out here trying to make it happen. And I have a lot of things out here. Like we used to say back in the day, man, I got money in the street right now. And I'm just making things work. Friday is going to be a big day. It's a big day to network and see my guys and talk to them. Hopefully get one step closer. I believe in what they're doing at Valuetainment. And this is going to be an opportunity for me to talk to the principals. And hell, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to sit down and talk to Pat himself, man. So that's what I'm working at. And they have a huge team. So, I'll be able to get down there and be like, yo, Pat, who do I need to talk to? I have these ideas. I know you're busy, man. Who is your guy? Who is the person on the team that I need to talk to and work something out? And if I'm lucky, he'll be like, yo, go holler at my people so-and-so over there. Tell him I told you to come over there and talk to him. If I get that door cracks open that much, man, I'm busting through that joint, bro. I'm busting right through it because that's how you have to be in this world. You got to be aggressive. You can't sit back and be timid. You got to be aggressive. Go out there and get it. Ain't nobody going to give it to you. They just not. Brother Tommy B, people are allowed to disagree without disdain. LOL. Exactly. But Tommy, man, we live in a world where people have forgotten that part, bro. It's like either you with me or you against me mentality, bro. It's like this whole sip thing. It's like when you dealing with these people, man, it blows my mind how today's society, I'm talking about in America, like, first of all, people can't critically think. And it's like they get mad at you if you challenge their position. And when you challenge their position, they just they don't want to talk to you. You're not my friend. What do you mean I'm not your friend? I don't agree with what you said. We still cool, right? But it's like that Sith thing, bro. They're all Darth Vader, bro. It's this shit right here.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy.
That's not how the world works, man. You don't have to be 100% in agreement, in compliance with everything I say to be on my team. Nah, bro. I want people around me who's going to challenge me and push me. That's what I want. That's the only way I'm going to grow. That's how we're going to get it, man. So that's the message I try to tell people, like, bro, you don't have to agree with me. I have so many people like, hey, man, I don't agree. Man, sound off like you got a pair. Stand up and tell me you don't agree, bro. Stand on your square like, bro, I don't agree with that, man. That's bullshit, Saint. All right, cool. Explain it. Tell me why. Tell me why you believe it's bullshit. Because this, and this. Okay, now we can go back and forth and we can, we can go at each other's points. And then in the perfect scenario, we both learn something. Like, oh shit, man, I didn't even know that. Yeah, I'm not a Trump dude, but every time I'm around Trumpers, I challenge them. Okay, tell me what Trump did that's so damn special. Right? Tell me why I should give this guy a pass for talking shit about John McCain, one of the greatest American heroes this country has ever produced. Tell me why. Tell me why I should give this draft dodger, right, a pass. And they just sit there quiet. Like, all right, Dan, it's cool. I ain't mad at you, bro, but y'all know where I stand on that. And we good. Like, all right, wait. I'm like, dude, go find why. Go find it. Did Trump do some good things while he was in office? Yes. Yes, he did. Did he do some bad things? Yes. You can say that about every president that's ever held that office. Every single one of them. Right. And I tell you what they all share. They all ran the deficit up to the point where we're getting to where no one's going to be able to pay it. They all responsible for that. So, that's just a little side note. Just so you know. But when I talk to folks, they tell me. I ain't tripping. Tell me. Change my mind. Come with something that changes my mind. And if you come up with something, I'm like, all right, cool. All right, bet. I'll give you that. That's what's up. That's a good point. So, and again, we'll talk about that later on tonight. And Dr. B, I was at the county hospital, so certain resources aren't available compared to the main hospital I work at. Hey, bro, look, going into the county is like working in the field hospital. It's like being at an aid station. It's like being on the front line, bro. Like y'all deal with the kind of stuff you deal with to come into those hospitals, bro. There's like combat grade wounds, man. Everything. I mean, combat grade wounds, man. Shout out to you, bro. For real. Salute to you. You are doing God's work, my friend. That's a tough place to be. So let's get into we're all caught up with the chat. Thank y'all so much for rocking out with me, man. Hit that like if y'all don't mind, bro. I appreciate that. So let's get into it, man. Let's see. We're about 30 minutes in. I want to run this real quick. So this was some Fresh and Fit yesterday. What am I doing here? Okay, here we go. This is from Fresh and Fit yesterday. Patrick Bet-David, Adam Sosnick, my refresher there, of course. Shout out to Big Mo and Chris, you know what I mean, taking care of things behind the scenes. And they're reading the super chat that I sent in, right? And I couldn't be there. I had sent the super chat in and I went out and do what I had to do. So let's check this out.
I'm out doing comedy. Pat, is it true you were down to your last 10K before you found success? How did you handle the stress? Keep leading from the front, gentlemen.
Yes. $13,000 is what it was. I came down. We're having a hard time making payroll. The same night I came home, Jen had a miscarriage. I'm outside by myself. It's 1:30 in the morning. I don't have any more money left. I don't know how I'm going to make payroll. Boom. The next week, AIG sends a $100,000 bonus check. We were able to make the payroll, and then obviously from there everything changes. But this is not a one-off story. This is very common with everybody that eventually wins at the highest level. You're going to have stories where you are so close to losing everything. How you handle during those moments dictates how much more pressure you can handle later on. I can tell you when Musk sold PayPal.
And right there, bro. And he goes on to talk about Elon Musk and some stuff that was going on with Elon. And I heard those stories about Pat. You know, like Patrick Bet-David, he born in Iran, Iranian. He and his family, they left. They were refugees from Iran. They went to Germany. We're in a refugee camp in Germany, I think for a year or two, right? They were there for a while. Like Pat's like young, bro. He's like 10, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. They go to Germany. They go through the process. I believe they seek some sort of asylum or some sort, like trying to get into America. They managed to get into America, right? They got into America, right? So Pat now, like he's in America, and they're going through the process to win citizenship, and he and his family, managed to do that. It was a long road to citizenship, right? And this ties into the whole illegal immigration thing, right? It ties into that. It's hard to get citizenship in countries like America, right? It's hard. It takes time. It takes time, but people fight to get into this country, right? His family fought to get him in here. His mom and dad did that for their children, so the children can have a better shot to be successful in life. Patrick Bet-David came here. You got a young kid, take it from his country, goes to Germany. So you're over there, you're dealing with, you're speaking Farsi right now. Okay, now you're over here. Now you got to learn some German. Now you're over here in America. You got to learn how to speak English, American version of English. So he goes through our educational system, whatever, like, probably some elementary, middle, high school. Like, he's growing up, American, joins the United States Army. He was at Fort Campbell for a while, it was air assault. I'm airborne. Like I said, he was almost perfect, almost perfect. Could have got him airborne school. He'd have been fine. So, he gets out of the military, man. And then there's a long story. You can read his book, your next 5 moves, or you can, kind of go watch some, interviews of Pat. This man truly pulled himself up by his bootlaces, man, the bootstraps. He really pulled himself up. And I'm not going to talk about how he almost went back into the Army, right? He got out of the Army, and he wound up getting into insurance. He got into the insurance business. Like some of his friends got into real estate. He chose to get into insurance. And he was doing all right. He was doing good. But the point I was asking him about, like, is it true you were down to like your last 10? He's like, no, it's my last $13,000. Couldn't make payroll. He just lost a child, right? His wife, just very traumatic, dealing with that. You coming home, you dealing with that, all that pressure. His wife knew what was going on. His wife knew that they were having troubles with the business. Business is growing in a good state, trying to make it, just almost getting over that hump. And it's like, man, I got $13,000 left to my name. I don't know how I'm going to make my payroll, which means he has employees, which means he has all these other families that he's basically providing for. You see what I mean? When you come to this sort of thing, like, you talking about problems, like I say, problems, they're different problems, right? You know what I mean? There's all sorts of problems out there. He wasn't sitting around crying. He wasn't sitting around talking about how the world is unfair. He was just doing his best to push through. You said AIG came through with $100 million, and boom, the rest is history. Hard work paid off for him. So many people where they work hard and they don't catch that break. They can't get over that hump. And they get knocked down to like square one or square -5 and have to work their way back up. That's why I respect this man, right? And he went on to talk about Elon Musk, and he talked about those people, he talked about, the type of person you have to be. And he's basically talking about who you are at your core. We'll let this play a little bit more. You see what I'm talking about.
Foul. He got $180 million. On the $180 million, this guy takes $100 million, puts it into SpaceX, takes $70 million, puts it into Tesla, takes $10 million, puts it into solar, and now he's worth a couple $100 billion. Yeah. So, he literally went from 170 million, 180 million to being broke again, to not being worth what he is. Oh, he bought Tesla, he bought Twitter. He should have never bought Twitter. $44. When he becomes the first trillionaire in the next 5 years, if he keeps doing what he's doing, everyone's going to say, oh, this guy always got, he always made it to the next level. No, the challenge, you learn a lot about yourself in business, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this as well. When success comes your way and when money comes your way. When money comes your way and you can stop working, how you behave next will really reveal how big you think. If you stop after you make money, it was always about money. If you continue after you make money, it was never about the money. Money was a byproduct.
Mm-hmm. Can I add to that?
And he's absolutely right. Adam was to go on and was going to, talk about Pat a little bit and say stuff like this, which is all true. You can look up Patrick Bet-David's net worth if you want to. I mean, they have him somewhere. It's north of 300 million. He's somewhere between 300 and 500 million, 600 million, whatever it is, right? They got his net worth out there, right? He's still going hard. He's still going hard, y'all. Think about that. He sold his insurance business. He had over, I think he had over 4,500 employees or something like that, maybe more. He had a ton of employees nationwide. They were all over the place. He built, remember that same business he almost lost, that very same business where he was down to his last $13,000. He was trying to figure out how he was going to make payroll. He sells that thing years later for hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of bucks. He's sitting around, man. He can sit back with his feet kicked up at this point, bro. He did it. He did. He won the game. This is the guy. This the young boy out of Iran who had to go to a refugee camp in Germany, managed to get into America with his family, worked hard. Boom, that's the American dream. He could just sit on a yacht, man, just sail the world, do whatever. But now what is he doing? He's out here trying to make it happen. Still out here pushing, still out here trying to get it. Going into, I'm gonna make Valuetainment. We're gonna have this company who's gonna be the best entertainment company on the planet. Like, bro, you ain't got to do that, but he's doing it. He's doing it. And I agree with him. When money starts coming your way, that's really going to let people know who you are, what you really about. You was in it for the money, now you cool. If you was in it for the challenge and you got the money, you're going to still look for more challenges, bro. And that is exactly how you need to be. Comedy's like that, man. There are people in comedy, man, they in it for the money. I'm just going to, I'm going to be funny. I'll make this money and I can sit back and be on a red carpet and this, that, and the third. Are they the funniest people out there? No. But they know how to work the system. Netflix is full of comics that are just horrible. Horrible. I'll go to comedy shows across the country. I'll go in there and watch these comics. Like, how in the hell did this person get on the stage? We at a world-renowned comedy venue. How did this guy get up there as a headliner? This dude barely has 45 minutes. It's not funny. Doesn't even care. How does it happen? He's got 1 million followers on YouTube, right? He's got 2 million followers on Instagram. He has 500,000 followers on Facebook. Club owners don't care about funny. They only care about getting butts in the seats. And if they can get somebody who got a lot of followers, they don't care if this dude's funny or not. They don't care if this woman is funny or not. If I put this person on the marquee, we're going to sell out. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. Netflix, this person has a message that we like. This person is telling jokes that we like. They're pushing the narrative that we want pushed. So I'm going to be your agent. I'm going to make you money. You're going to be able to buy you a $3 million house in Studio City, right? I'm going to keep you working. You're going to get Netflix specials. You're going to get movies. You're going to get all these deals. You ain't got to be funny. If you're funny, whatever, but they don't care. People are replacing the kind of entertainers they want you to see. And once they get that money, they just sit back. We'll never have another Red Fox. We'll never have another Robin Williams. Right. We have, there's always going to be greats out there. You got Dave Chappelle, you have Bill Burr. Bill Burr, in my opinion, is the best comedian in the game today. Bill Burr, followed closely by Dave Chappelle. They're like Ali Holmes kind of thing, Ali Frazier. They go, you know what I mean? They go back and forth. But Bill Burr is peaking, bro. He's on top of his game. Don't take my word for it. Go back and watch some of his material. Watch Live at Red Rocks. Bill Burr. Funny. How you gonna take abortion and make it hilarious? He's talking about the WNBA, talking about wokeness, made it hilarious. You know what I mean? Talked about Coco Chanel, made it hilarious. Talking about Nazism, bro. He's talking about all the stuff you ain't supposed to talk about. And it's funny. Go back before that. There's another show he did on Netflix, an hour on Netflix called Sorry You Feel That Way. Same thing. Same thing. The guy's on top of his game, right? Much respect to Bill Burr. Bill Burr, and to me, the best comics, the legendary comics are the ones that give you food for thought. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it boils down to. They make you think. After you laugh, you go back, well, wait a minute, he's on to something. Those are the greats. It's going to be harder and harder. They're going to be fewer and far between because at the bottom, we're pushing up mediocrity. We're pushing up people who aren't funny. We're pushing up people who are in it for the money. It's going to be harder and harder to find a Patrick Bet-David. Right? $300 million. That's hard to do, bro. If I wake up tomorrow and I'm worth $300 million, I would like to say that I'm going to sit back and just kick my feet up. But nah, I'm going to go out there and try to do something as well. Like, I'm going to keep going. Man, I want a studio too. I want the best comedy club on the planet. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some money. I'm going to go out there and try to cultivate and bring back real comedy. That's what I try to do. If I'm worth $300 million, yeah, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go hard, extremely hard in the paint, extremely hard. So So yeah, but that's my take on that. I just wanted to run that clip so people can hear that, bro. He got down to his last $13,000. He was probably a month away, if not less, from being bankrupt, ruined. Not just him, all the other families, right? All the other people he employed that were dependent on him to make the right move so they can eat and feed their family. And he just lost a child. He and his wife had to deal with that on top of all that. And look where he is now. Why am I talking about this? Because if you're listening to this, you can do the same thing. You can go hard. You can figure it out. Just keep pushing. Don't give up. Quit pointing your finger, want to blame somebody else. That's their fault. I'm not successful. Their fault. They didn't give me this. They didn't give me that. Man, nobody's supposed to give you nothing, bro. Get out there and make it happen. Take it. Get it. Work hard for it. Cherish it. Right? And then when it's time, risk it. That's part of it. You got to take that risk. You want to get paid, you got to take that risk. So there's another party. Another part, what was it? An hour and 20 minutes in. And they were talking about wokeness, which I thought was a good conversation. So I kind of wanted to touch on it real quick. Because I'm looking at what's going on with, y'all saw the whole thing with Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light, right? Bud Light. I never understood why Bud Light would do such a thing. Why would they go against their loyal fan base like that? Bud Light is horrible. Anheuser-Busch, that's terrible beer. I'm not a beer guy, but if I am going to drink beer, it's not going to be that. That stuff is just horrible. That fan base, it was built on tradition. People who bought Budweiser, to them that was like America in a can, right? They didn't care. It was like it was a point of pride to drinking this nasty, but this is America, right? How are you going to go against that base to appease a small sliver of the population? A small sliver, which probably doesn't even drink your product, right? So that whole thing, and Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch lost up to 25% of their market share. 25% of profits gone. Like they just lost it. And the people who walked away are going to stay away. It looks like. We'll see. Like the people haven't come back yet. You know, Anheuser-Busch was trying to give away the beer. People wouldn't take it. Every time I go into a gas station or a grocery store, man, Bud Light, there's tons of Bud Light. It might not be any other beer there, but Bud Light, full. Budweiser, full. And it seems now people have gotten smart because they got telephones and computers in their pocket. They can go and see all of the beers. They're under Anheuser-Busch and they're staying away from them. They're staying away from them. Again, I'm not a beer drinker, but I'm fascinated by this whole thing, right? Like, man, they blew this up. look at Scam. He couldn't let it go. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. Scam likely that stuff. It's single mom's fault. All right. You know what I mean? I get what he's doing. You know what I mean? I get what he's doing. There's a lot of people out there, these dudes, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to be talking about that too. You know what I mean? We got these guys out here. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of guys out here. Again, they sit there and they talk about accountability and women aren't accountable. Yet these same dudes aren't accountable. We saw that with Modern Life Dating, MLD. We saw that with him. I did this show. I had some people that reached out to me like, man, I don't know about that. I'm like, look, bro, it is what it is, man. He handled that wrong. We got to hold him accountable, bro. Got to hold him accountable. So, and you know, that's another show. If you want to see it, we did it. I was talking about MLD and all that, the problem with the man on Swamp. You know, but you got a good point, bro. Single mom's fault. You know what I mean? I wish we could blame the single dads, but ain't enough of us out here. Why? Because the courts won't give us our kids. Ha. We could talk about that all day. But again, it's for those people out there who are stuck in this situation, like those men out here dealing with the court system, not being able to get 50%, get 50% of the time with their children. It should be 50-50 split. It's hard to get. You know what I mean? Some people manage to do it, but for a lot of us, it's just really hard to get. I don't blame the court system. I don't blame the child. You know what I mean? It's the system that we set up. So all of the people can shut down Anheuser-Busch and shut down Bud Light and make them go through all this stuff, jump through hoops trying to get their loyal customers back. But we can't change the family law system. That's we can't. whenever I see stuff like this, boycotts and whatnot, and there's no riots and just people just kind of like, man, this is enough. I'm walking away. I'm done. Right? If you had that same attitude, like, you know what, this is enough. We're going to send our people into these elected officials, these elected officials to these offices, and we're going to make some change. It could happen. It could happen. It can absolutely happen. Right? But people don't want to put in the work. People don't want to put in the work. So it is what it is. I tell guys all the time, be careful. But let's get back to this. So they were talking about the Bud Light thing. They were talking about corporations, and they were talking about this. I guess there's a score. So what did they score corporations? It's basically like a wokeness kind of score. Anyway, let's check this out.
500 to 600 billion. Then
You ready? $11 trillion.
wow.
Did you hear what I just said?
Holy fuck.
11 trillion. By the way,
Wow.
I swear to you, 10 and a half, $11 trillion. Do you know what the US GDP was last year? 32 trillion.
Yeah.
So America as a business did 32 trillion last year. BlackRock has $11 trillion. BlackRock,
One-third.
Vanguard, and State Street combined have roughly a 10% stake to 15% stake on 88% of S&P 500 companies. Let me say that one more time.
Wow.
BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street collectively have roughly 10 to 15% of equity in nearly 88% of S&P 500 companies.
That's fucking crazy.
And
top 500 companies in the United States.
Top 500 companies in the
Wow.
United States. 24.9% of board seats are controlled by BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Nearly 88% of these guys. So what does this mean? Guess what they do? They control everything.
Yeah.
They control everything. So they get to tell the companies, if you want to borrow money from me, for example, let's just say your name is Dodgers. You're like, man, if we want to really give this guy a contract for $400 million over 10 years, let's go raise the money. All right. Hey, can you give us some money here? No problem. BlackRock, here's $100 million. Bank of America, here's $100 million. Goldman Sachs, here's $200 million. Go offer this guy a $400 million contract, but your ESG score is low. What I need you to do is I need you at the Dodgers game to have a lesbian non-indulgence. I don't know if you guys saw the story or not. Have you guys seen this thing? What happened at Dodger Stadium?
I haven't seen the
Okay. Anyway, so this whole story comes with there's an organization called Something of Indulgence where transgender men are out there doing what they're doing because Dodgers has to increase their ESG score.
These are the people that are probably reading books to kids and all this other stuff. Same
That's
organization.
exactly
probably?
what it
Yeah.
is. So again, the point with these guys, the money guys are imposing high ESG score. I'll give you this final thoughts for you guys to be thinking about how deep this is getting. You know what the top five highest ESG scores in America is? Number 5 is Bank of America. Number 4 is Salesforce. Number 3 is Microsoft. Number 2 is Intel. And number 1 is Alphabet. You know what are some of the companies with the worst ESG scores in America? Tesla, one of the worst.
Yep.
Tesla's fixing the environment, helping the environment to have one of the worst.
Yep.
Twitter is one of them.
Yep.
You got Xerox is one of them. AT&T is one of them. I can give you Fox Corporate is one of them.
Sure.
These companies who have low ESG scores, they're not controlled by those guys, but those guys don't give them a good score, so they have a hard time raising more money from other people. It's a mess.
I mean, that's out there. I'm doing more research on that. I'm really looking into this ESG score thing, and it kind of makes sense to me. The whole Anheuser-Busch Bud Light thing, like, man, is that what they were doing? You look at what's going on with Target. Is that what they're doing? You know, you see these things. Disney don't even need money, so I don't understand why Disney is doing it. But maybe they're one of the people behind the scenes that are pushing this agenda. Look, man, I don't have a problem with people doing what they do. Do you? But when you add money to it, it's like we want to, we're only going to give money to those people who think like us. Now we got a problem. We got a problem. It's not right. It's not socialism. It's not communism, but it's close. Miss AKA ladies in the house. What's good, sis? How you doing? Friday, Miss AKA lady, Friday, I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale talking with these guys. I am going to see if I can find some answers. I'm going to go and see if I can find I'm gonna get some input from these guys. Maybe they can give me some resources to look into, reference the whole home owners insurance thing that's going on in Florida. These guys, like DeSantis, like I said, they're center right. They're Trump, DeSantis type things, like Republicans. I'm going to go and I'm gonna ask them questions while I'm down there Friday. It's not just these dudes, but it's going to be other people in the room, and I'm gonna be asking a lot of questions like, hey, what should someone do? This is the thing. Have you guys seen this? And see if I can get some input from them. Who knows? If they give me some good information, I'll let you know. I'm going to be showing them the message you sent me. Hey man, look at this. This is a friend of mine. What should people do when they encounter this? What options do they have? And hopefully I'll be able to get some information that can help. Hopefully. Don't hold your breath though. It is what it is. But good to see you, love. I'm glad you're here. But this whole thing with these corporations, there's obviously a push of a certain narrative on America. And like I said, it's not socialism, it's not communism, but it ain't capitalism, right? It ain't bad. And we haven't seen capitalism. If we had true capitalism back in 2008, a whole lot of banks would have failed. If we had true capitalism, these regional banks be gone right now, right? So it is what it is. Like I don't know what we're morphing into. You know what I mean? Miss AK, hey lady, I'm gonna send you a message. I appreciate that. I got you, shorty. I got you. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm gonna ask these folks who are higher up the level, up the ladder. It may be they've seen this sort of thing before, and we'll see what's up with that. Hopefully they'll give me, give me the secret handshake or something, and tell me, call this person. They'll hook you up. We'll see. But yeah, that whole ESG score thing. And there's more. I just wanted to pause it there for a second. They're going to talk about Bud Light here in a second. So let's get back to it. Let's check this out.
What they're doing. Say that again.
Do you know what ESG stands for? I was going to.
Yeah, environmental social governance. Environmental social governance, I believe.
So is that like basically your how woke you are?
How woke you are.
It's your woke score.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
So it's funny because
there's a social credit score that they do in China. This is your corporate
and environmental service.
Environmental social governance, I want to say.
Okay. So it's funny. You don't take over or destroy infrastructure from outside. You do it from the inside. And control happens when people have to follow either a regimen or, for example, a system. And the ESG score is basically our literal credit score. So for companies, like you said before, to borrow money, you need to have the score A1. If you don't, you can't borrow money. Mm-hmm. So they're going to squeeze them saying, hey, you know what? Do these things. If you don't do it, you can't borrow money. So they have to do it. So Bud Light had to, on some level, to stay relevant or stay in the, marketplace itself, do these things to actually be a competitor and borrow money as well.
So you think they probably sold their soul, borrowed money, and that's why they had to do that stupid ass ad? This is why Gillette did the controversial toxic masculinity ad. Because I've always been wondering, like, why are they taking crazy risks and ostracizing their consumer base?
Say you don't do it, but you know what happens if you don't do it? They control the board seats. If you don't do it, guess what the board is doing to you? They're firing you.
Right.
How many people you think want a job paying you $25 million a year salary? How many people you think would like to be the CEO of Anheuser-Busch? How many people you think would want to be a CEO of Target? How many people you think want that job? 1,000 people?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Guys that went to Harvard, Yale, Princeton.
Of course.
There's 1,000 guys that want that job. How many people you think are willing to do all of those things for $25 million a year salary? Plenty of people.
everyone.
You know, it's funny.
Plenty.
Facts. I mean, at the end of the day, if you control these boards, if you control who gets the money, I mean, yeah, you're going to be able to get these corporations to do pretty much whatever you want them to do. And you're talking about not just Target or Walmart, but you're talking about these sports franchises, man. You could get the Dodgers and the Lakers and the Cincinnati Bengals to do whatever you want them to do. In order for them to get this money, they're going to make that call. They're going to look at it and like, you know what? It's not so bad. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, we can do a rainbow night or whatever. We can do this. We can do that. I don't have a problem with it. But if you have to force people to do it, consistently force people to do it, I think it's a problem. I really think it's a problem. And Miss AKA lady, I don't have my phone next to me. I left it downstairs. So if I'll just hit you when the stream is over, I'll hit you back. Brother Doug's in the house, man. What's good, fam? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. But why are we forcing these kind of things? I think it was on this platform. It was the sister from DC. Sister Vita, I think her name was. I forget. She's new to our platform. And she was telling me about, did you hear what Target is doing with they got the woke section and they have the, shorts that, little kids can tuck their genitals for men. I'm like, what? I didn't know. She was like, "You haven't seen that? Look it up." I looked it up. I'm like, mine was blown. It was just blown. Like, what is this? What we doing? I haven't been in the Target yet, but I heard people push back severely, and they moved that section to the back of the store now. I don't know. I might walk over to my neighborhood Target just to see if it's in there. Probably ask somebody who works there. Excuse me, I'm looking for the tuck drawers. I'm looking for that. What are we doing? I mean, we live in a free society for the most part. If you want to do this, fine. I mean, in LA, there's an area they call Boys Town, right? It's just like the gay town, the gay part of town. And it's massive, been around forever. They have store what you want. They got a store called Gay Mart on Santa Monica in Boys Town. It is what it is. All right. If you want those type clothing, right, that's where you would go. I guess. I mean, it's not that people can't have their community and do what it is they want to do. It's out there. It's been out there. But this narrative, we're going to force corporations to do this so they can get this score. And this score is going to dictate who gets to get the loans, and not just the loans, but who gets the better rates. Like your score is low, so you can get the loan for $200 million, but that's going to be at 8%. If you had a higher score, we can get you in there at 3%. That's huge. That's huge. And that's going to make a CEO like, well, we need to get this score up. That's just business. Right? And like they said, they could fire the CEO. Like all these people are sitting on these boards. Man, it's crazy. Brother Doug is saying, if you're referring to the LBGT agenda, it's working. Reporting 20% Gen Z are claiming LBGT. Yeah. Yeah, they're doing it because it's cool. They're doing it because they've been indoctrinated, perhaps. Again, later on tonight, we're going to talk about, they talked about this on PBD podcast today with Myron. Tonight I'm going to be, pulling that up, and I got some comments. Like I said, I got some pushback from my brother, man. He was talking about what's going on in Ukraine. Definitely got some pushback on that. But the other stuff about how men aren't men anymore and kids don't go out. Dude, I got 20 minutes on stage about that, and it's hilarious. I had 20 minutes of just talking about the difference between growing up in the 70s and growing up today. I even ran a little bit last night. I talked about that last night. I tried to, I tried a line. I threw it out there, and it kind of worked. It kind of worked. I don't have to build it up some more. Like I said, and when I do the show on stand up, I might even play the 4 minutes that I did. Just under 5 minutes that I did at the gimmick. I probably play it just so you guys can hear it and can hear what I'm talking about, and actually give you guys an opportunity to see how material grows. And I can do it on this platform because we ain't that big yet. You know what I mean? So I can do it and not have to worry about the bit getting out there. You can actually watch me build up and kind of work a routine. I could probably turn that into 10 minutes. I could probably stretch that into 10 minutes. The stuff that I worked on last night, I could probably stretch it. It's like just under 5 minutes. I could probably double it. So I'm gonna do that. Probably maybe Wednesday. Maybe we'll see. Maybe tomorrow, but I'm gonna do it. Give me I just got to figure it out. I might do it later on tonight. I'll do one of these pop-ups and just do it. I don't know. We got Miss Globe Girl in the house. What's good, sis? How you feel? My favorite sailor. Y'all got to check out Adidas bathing suits for men. Word. I'm all for people being who they are, but this is going too far. I'm definitely going to have to check that out, sis. I'm definitely going to have to check that out. I can only imagine if you're saying it, got Miss Globe Girl like, yo, they need to slow down. They need to pump the brakes. That's crazy. And most Americans don't care. If that's what you want to do, do you. But you got to pump the brakes, yo. You can't force it on the masses. You're going to get pushback. Brother Doug, historically, that population was at 1%. Yeah, and it's been growing. It's definitely been growing. You're right about that, bro. So yeah, man, let's watch a little bit more of this. Check this out.
Many people.
With BlackRock, I was going to say 10 trillion because they're literally buying every single thing, even close to buildings as well, and single family, which means they're going to control pretty much all of our
They're a big reason why we have a housing shortage, so to speak.
On purpose. Yeah. But once again, what is it?
But just real quick, I wanted to pause it real quick, and I'm going to let it run a bit. Fresh ain't lying. Like BlackRock, Blackstone, private equity, they've been buying up single family homes for a long time. Now, of course, all that is starting to change. Interest rates have gone up, so the cost of housing is going to go down, and private equity especially are going to start pulling out money in their homes, and they're going to start buying T-bills and putting in the treasuries because they can get a better interest rate on it, and it's zero risk. If you have these houses, you still have to deal with tenants. You're gonna have to deal with plumbing issues and all in the roofing stuff and all the rest of it, right? So it's still a risk. You know, having to kick tenants out, that costs money, having to go through the court process and getting processors to, you know, do all this kind of stuff when people don't pay. And we're going into a recession, which we've been in. And then, you know, this might even turn bad and be kind of a light depression. People are going to be losing their homes, their ability to pay their rent, their ability, you know, in these homes. You're going to have to process them out. And who knows what the government will do if they do another thing where you can't evict anyone, right? You have to live there. They could live there for free. Those are risks associated with having them homes. And they're probably in there making, you know, like, oh, we're making 4.5%, maybe 6.5%. They could turn around and get a 10-year treasury for 7-8% or wherever it is right now. I'm just making up numbers here, but they can turn around and get a basically no risk on their money. So they're going to take that money out and they're going to put it over there. And again, that's one of the things that people talk about. There might be a flood, you know what I mean? Or definitely there are going to be more single family homes on the market over the next, 18 months to 2 years, because private equity is going to take that money out and they're going to dump them homes. And when they dump them homes, they're going to sell those homes for whatever they need to sell them for. They're going to bottom them out, which is going to bring down the value to all the other homes in the neighborhood. Again, most people's wealth is in their home. So now you're going to have this thing where all America's wealth is going to go down. It is, it's almost as if the perfect storm has been set. Right? It's just crazy. Brother Doug, for the past 2 years, BlackRock was purchasing 800 homes per month. Yes. Facts. So BlackRock, Blackstone was out there doing stuff. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of exposure out there. People are holding paper. They're holding, that's a liability, right? It's no longer an asset. You know what I mean? So we're about to go through a pretty messy period, y'all. Pretty messy indeed. Now, if you got cash, all that kind of, there's going to be some opportunities out there. It's going to be some good opportunities. But for everyone else, it's just going to be a lot of pain. But back to the score, right? If you're not pushing the agenda, and like the score, like, and what Fresh was saying, if they own these homes, could you imagine them not renting to you because you're a liberal or you're a conservative or you're a Tea Party member, or they don't like your YouTube channel? They don't, hey DL Saint, you want to get this house? We'll sell you this house or we'll rent you this house. But you can't talk about BlackRock or Blackstone anymore. You can't talk poorly about Citibank. You can't talk poorly about JP Morgan Chase. You can't tell people that the dollar is worthless. You can't tell people that the central bank digital currency is bad. Right, we're watching you. So if you want this loan, we know you can only get into this loan at 7%. But right now, we're showing you 8.2%. So if you want this loan, you need to get down to 7%. You got to do what we tell you to do. Now, like I said, now you're getting into, like I said, it's not quite communism. Right? It's not, right? But boy, oh boy, it ain't capitalism. Miss AKA ladies, like, but that's a good opportunity to invest. As long as you are prepared for those down markets. Absolutely. So if you're sitting on some cash, if you got, cash reserves, and right now you can get all kind of deals. You could buy strip malls for pennies on the dollar almost. It's getting there. Patrick Bet-David is always talking about, there's one of the prime real estate buildings, one skyscrapers out there in San Francisco. This thing was like prime 3 years ago, was like worth $300 million. And they're talking about now they'll sell it for $60 million. And this is the beginning of the problems, y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like it's getting bad. It's getting bad. But if you got bread, you getting deals. Whoever buys that building at $60 million, if they could sit on it long enough, that thing could go up to at least $200 million over the next 5 years, right? When you're sitting on something, it could possibly be worth a lot. Now, Not sure how they're going to repurpose. Not sure they're going to get people to come back to work. That into the office. That's all that has to be sorted out. But if you could buy yourself a strip mall for $200,000, someplace like Orlando or Tampa or Fort Lauderdale, right there, get your nice little strip mall with nail shop, barber shop, a liquor store, maybe a mom and pop little grocery. You got that strip mall. 5 years from now, that strip mall might be worth $2 million. You bought in at 150, 300,000. This is how billionaires are made, bro. This is how people put zeros behind their wealth. You know what I mean, brother Doug? The digital dollar begins in July. That's going to shake the market. Yeah, I don't have a problem with crypto, but I'm not messing with the central bank digital dollar. And here's the thing: I'm not going to have a choice. This is how they're going to pay me. They're going to pay us in central. You're going to have them. You know what I mean? So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I'm definitely, again, that's another topic I'm gonna be bringing up and Friday when I get down there and talk to these boys, see what's going on. So let's continue with the video.
Is it all control? If I control all you do behind the scenes, I already control the company. Even though you're the face of it, I control the behind the scenes.
So now somebody says something like, "Well, how do you fight these guys, man? How the hell do you fight these guys?"
Okay, that's my question, bro.
Exactly.
Because I in my possible simple mindset can't imagine how you can fight that.
Do you know why we're even able to have this conversation right now together?
Free speech.
Do you know why we're able to have this conversation right now? Okay, a Jewish man, a Middle Eastern man, a black man, and
Arab guy.
Okay,
Muslim
but watch four of us.
Could be better.
How different we are, and we're sitting at a table right now, and 9835 is right now watching live. Do you know why we're able to do this right now?
Because we're niggas?
No, because of probably, I will say, 1,000 anti-establishment people in the last 270 years in America. That's why.
Fresh.
You big dummy.
Fresh. Because but what Pat says is absolutely correct. Why can we do this? Because people were brave enough to stand up and ask questions and say, no, what are we doing here? This isn't right. This isn't America. This isn't justice. That's how. Right? How did the family court system get away from us? No one asked questions. Simple as that. No one asked questions. How did the housing market blow up in 2008? Deregulation. No one asked questions. Right? How is it now that all these regional banks today are blowing up and going out of business? Deregulation. No one asked questions. Right? How is it they're gonna this central bank digital currency? And it's just boom, it's just gonna happen. Like Brother Doug said, boom, how is this gonna happen in July? How? How is that possible? No one asked questions. They didn't stand up. Now we got all these platforms. You got YouTube, you got Rumble, you got, you got all these platforms, whatever they're called, wherever they are, Facebook, Instagram, right? Snapchat. If you can, I don't know. I'm not on Snapchat or whatever. I hate TikTok, but it's out there. You have ways to get your message out there. You just got to be brave enough to do it. And if you stand up, you know what I mean? You become a target. You go up there and you say these things, man. You go out there and simply tell the truth or just ask questions. All right, well, I said this, prove me wrong. You're going to have problems, bro. You're going to have problems. Like this stream you're watching right now, it's going to, you just going to be limited monetization. It's not going to get pushed that hard in the algorithm, right? Because YouTube don't want you talking about this sort of stuff. Right? If I had a bunch of girls on here twerking, oh man, that thing could go to the moon. If I had got a bunch of people on here, if I had a show telling you how to wear your tuckable, underwear, your tuckable swim shorts, and I'm, showing you how to tuck it, it went to the moon. Like, it is what it is. And why is YouTube doing it? Maybe because they want to get that score up. Right? Maybe. It could be something as simple as that. But I mean, it is what it is. Brother Doug is saying one of my customers own 2 strip malls and grossing $30K per month. Yeah, bro, if you can get a strip mall, man, do it. If you can get you a strip mall over the next, year and a half, 2 years for, a couple $100,000, whatever, if you can get it, bro, get it. Get it. Get together. Get your people together. Try to, draw up the paperwork. Everybody kick in this much, whatever, and get that strip mall. Yeah, that's going to be a great deal. Brother Doug, back to work. A lot of people believe that there's never going to be a a push to get people back to work. You know, you got Elon Musk and a few others who are doing it, but it's like people aren't going to do it. I don't know. This, you know, that's how the system worked. The system was based on people having to go into those buildings and work. I don't know. You're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna see how that plays out. Miss AKA lady, that's why home ownership is helpful. The average middle class person can invest from a HELOC. Also, you can rely, you can really come up on equity if purchase your home at a good time. Yeah, you can. HELOCs are cool, but right now a HELOC is going to be what? 8%? Right? HELOCs are because brother Tom was talking about that on PBD today. HELOCs are normally 2 points above whatever the going interest rate is. So I think it's like 6.2% right now. HELOCs is going to be at least 2 points above that. You know, I could tell you for a fact, if you're going out buying yourself a home, and Myron talked about this on PBD as well. You're going out buying yourself a second home or something like that. You're looking at high 7s, low 8% interest rates on those homes. And that's with good credit. If your credit isn't that good, it's closer to 10%, right? And as we get deeper and deeper into this recession, yeah, we're going to be looking at double-digit interest rates. You might be looking like, for a first-time buyer, you might be looking at 7.6, 7.8% on a house, right? So you're right. You know what I mean? You're right. MSAK 8 is saying prime is 8.25. So look, you're looking at 10 and a quarter. You're looking at 10 and a quarter on a HELOC probably. You in the business, baby, you know, love, you can tell me better than I can, but you're probably looking at close, you know, over 10% on a HELOC. If you can get it. A lot of people have already been kind of chipping away at their equity. So and again, prices are going down. So all this stuff is going at the same time, right? Prices are going down. People are like, well, I got equity in my house. Do you? Do you? Okay, well, they just sold the house across the street. You know what I mean? 35% below, you know, the average at a 35% loss. So now right off the rip, your house now is going to appraise 35% lower. You know, and if you live in Tampa is somewhere in the neighborhood of 63% overpriced. So you're going to start seeing these prices go down. This is all beginning. This is all happening right now. Miss AKA lady, just checked this morning. Now isn't a good time, but there will be good times. You got to ride this out for a couple of years, 18 months. It's about 18 months, 18 to 24 months. There's just blood in the street. There's going to be time towards the end of this where, you know, people are going to be able to get in. FHA is always good. You're going to be looking at anywhere between 1% and 3% down, right? If you got any money, you know, you got to get out here and hustle. Like I said at the top of the show, I'm about to wrap this up. Brother Pitney Jules in the house. What's good, fam? How you feeling? The return on investment the ROI on the investment needs to exceed the interest rate of the HELOC. Yep. I don't know what assets can do that consistently over the course of a decade or more. Facts. It all has to make sense. I mean, a lot of people are cool with the short-term loss, but they're looking at long-term. It looks good, so they'll take that short-term hit. You have that, and it depends on what else they got going on. But I mean, shoot, man, life is a gamble. Life is a gamble. Life is a gamble. Patrick Bet-David was gambling down to his last 13,000. It paid off for him. He's a multimillionaire now, but it was a gamble. It could have went the other way. Brother Doug, we need some volunteers to twerk for the algorithm. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Who knows what's going to happen when we start doing these live shows? And I'm starting to line that up as well. After I did the comedy, I went downtown St. Petersburg. If everybody's ever been to the Tampa area, you got Tampa, Clearwater, St. Petersburg. Great. It's great. Tampa, I would say, is the worst. St. Pete, I like the most. Downtown St. Pete is really nice. And in Clearwater, I was, put in the middle. But there's a place called Ruby's Elixir. It's a cigar bar slant regular bar. They do music. And on Monday nights, they do like this R&B jazz kind of thing, open mic kind of thing for, musicians. I was in there for a hot second, kind of talking to people and seeing what's going on. It's the Black Night, right? Because they're 7 days a week, they do live music down there. So I went to check it out. I got some footage down there. I was talking to some folks. And yeah, I'm just going to have to put together the live shows, working on that as well. All this is going to happen this summer, guys. I'm going to do all of them. You're going to see some live. We're going to find a location. We're going to do some live shows. I want to put together a kind of like an episode where I go into Ruby's Elixir, talk to the managers and owners and get the history of it, right? And just kind of show the bar and everything, because it's a real cool spot. Like, you know, kind of highlight downtown St. Pete. I'm gonna be doing all that. One of the guys who came to one of our new Templars meetings, hopefully a potential night. He's audio video guys, like real sharp brother. I'm gonna be working with him. We're gonna figure this out and make it happen, guys. We're gonna continue to grow this platform. We're gonna get that information out there. Why am I working so hard? Because I'm trying to holler at Patrick Bet-David. I'm trying to get in with Valuetainment. I have the experience, I have the skill sets, and I have the teams, I have the people in place everywhere around the country to make this happen. I was in Hollywood for 25 years. I was messing around with this Hollywood stuff for about 8 to 10, doing videos and stuff like that. I haven't showed you guys any of our product, but I will. That's when the paywall comes up, I'm gonna show you some of the stuff that we were doing. And you're gonna be like, oh, okay, Saint, I see what you're talking about. Not just comedy. I was doing way more than that. So y'all watching me, watch this hustle. Watch this hustle. Watch how we get down. This is why networking is so important. This is why it is so important. Miss AKA lady, well, you wouldn't hold the property on the HELOC, of course. You can finance it into a permanent loan. My point is, where else can an average person pick up that type of cash? Facts. You got to work for it. You got to hustle for it. This is the gig economy. You know what I mean? It's just stuff always comes up. But you have to be dedicated and put the work in. But I get it. It's hard. It's to the point now where the American dream may not be attainable for most Americans. Wages aren't going up. We have all these issues. Wages, the cost of living is going way up, but wages haven't really moved. So it is what it is. And people are like, well, I'm going to go to college. Well, you're going to get that college debt. You're going to wind up worse off after college than you were before you went in. But it is what it is. And Miss AKA lady, if a property cash flows and I see year over year properties increasing in that zip code, then I would consider it a decent investment. Facts. You know what I mean? They say, hey, they will see you. Yeah, they're definitely going to see me. I'm out there. You know what I mean? I'll be in Orlando. There's an improv in Orlando. I plan to go over there. I'm going to be doing stuff over there, doing comedy. I'll let you guys know my stand-up comedy plan. It's going to have me in Orlando. It's going to have me in Fort Lauderdale, Miami. It's going to have me in Atlanta, New York, and Dallas. So just doing stand-up. And then, of course, all this other stuff that we're doing, these different type of events that are going to be going on. I got a lot of work to do. And the whole while we're going to be doing these shows. So during the summer months, y'all, I'm going to be doing these pop-up shows. You know, I don't know. I'm just going to like wake up, do a show, and then go out and get the day going. Like right now, I got to go out and do some stuff and, you know, and getting prepared for Friday. And then I'm going to try to keep to the 6 o'clock, time that we normally run during the school year. I'm going to try, but it's going to be difficult. Then you're going to see me doing shows where I just upload. I won't be going live. I'll just do a show and then upload it. You're going to see a lot of me driving around talking. Be prepared. You're going to see all that. And then, like I said, eventually you're going to see me on Instagram as well. So it's coming, guys. It's coming. I haven't left the Mano Swamp. I'm still here trying to help those young men who need it. There's people out there they're looking for leadership. They need some help. I'm here to help them out. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to hold people accountable. If I see some bullshit, I'm going to call it, man. That's bullshit, bro. That MLD thing was bullshit, bro. He should have just stepped up. Yeah, I called you fat. It was just the whole thing was mad about the girl. She was like, you called me fat. He should have said, yeah, I did it. But he didn't handle that well at all. Maybe he'll change. Maybe he won't. We'll see. You know what I mean? Rich Cooper even put out something about MLD, which I'm gonna cover that. Like it's a lot going on, guys. It's a lot going on. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna continue to talk about it. This is how men hold each other accountable. This is how men learn. This is how men grow. For those who want to grow, for those who step up to the challenge, this is how it's done. And for those of you who just want to make noise, just want to be seen, talking loud, saying nothing, hey, more power to you. I salute that too, whatever, but I'm staying away from it. You know what I mean? So, hey, thanks for rocking out with me, y'all. I was trying to do this in like 45 minutes. We are almost an hour and a half into it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing y'all. Thank you so much for the support. Y'all know I rock with y'all. Y'all my people. You know what I mean? I haven't seen Sister Candace in a while. Hopefully we can get Sister Candace to pop on. And some others, but I get it. People are doing stuff. It's a lot going on. And now I'm jumping on regular random time. So people don't know when I'm coming. But it is what it is. Shout out to each and every one of y'all for coming through. Always support me. Thank you so much. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And next time we get together, man, like I'm gonna get on later on tonight. It might be late. It might be real late. It might be around 11 o'clock or midnight tonight, but I'm gonna get back on at some point tonight. And then tomorrow I'll probably come on and talk some more about comedy. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Thank you so much for rocking out with me. This DL Saint on the pop-up show, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.